Recognize the chairwoman for the full committee, Ms. Foxx, 5 minutes for questions. Dr. Foxx, I apologize.
It's okay. Thank you very much, Chairman Guthrie. This has been a very enlightening set of presentations, and I want to thank the panel members very much for being here. This is an important issue. Getting information to make good decisions at the policy level is critical to us. I've always believed that. I noticed that, again, most of you use the term data. We had a hearing here a couple of years ago where we had stacks of reports, and one person on the panel said, you know what, we're drowning in data and we don't have much information. And I think that is probably true based on what most of you have said today, is that we have a lot of data, but that data is not informing us well to make decisions. But I appreciated very much Dr. Schneider mentioning this Commission on Evidence-Based Policymaking, which is going to bring forth its report later this year, and I'm certainly looking forward to that. Unfortunately, the federal government has a pretty lousy record of keeping information private. And we had a hearing in the OGR committee a couple of weeks ago with IRS representatives and the Federal Student Aid Office indicating what a lousy job the federal government does of keeping information private. Dr. Schneider, do you have another comment you could make on how we can protect actual privacy, not relying on the security mechanisms that we currently have? Do you have an expanded point you'd like to make on that?
So I actually think that the issue is more complicated than just the protection of the data, because clearly any large data system is going to be subject to risk, right? And we should, in fact, do everything we can to protect those data. And Senator Wyden has just proposed a new bill for protecting privacy using, heavy encryption. The real question, and the one, again, that I believe Congress has to weigh in on, is what is the balance between the risks of that data system and the rewards and the benefits of it, right? And that, to me, is, again, a fundamental issue for the Congress to decide about where we come down in the risk-reward ratio. Because clearly there are risks to assembling these data. There are also benefits to having these data. We've heard some of them. And it is only Congress that has to decide where the inflection point is with the risks and benefits of having those data.
And I want to thank you very much for pointing out how we have gotten to the place that we've gotten, where I think we have a lot of wanted data without necessarily the needed data. Mr. Benton, thank you for your comments about the student unit record ban. I do feel very keenly about keeping privacy. Would you like to talk a little bit more about why you believe this is important to your students, and perhaps a little bit more about what you're doing with UCAN at Pepperdine and the other institutions that are part of that effort?
Thank you. First, a word about UCAN, formed about a decade ago by the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities. It was in direct response to congressional concerns about getting the right level of information to students. And so UCAN, with its 50 different points of information, was created, and about 600 of us have loaded it onto our website. So if you want to look up Pepperdine sometime, just Pepperdine, U-C-A-N, Pepperdine UCAN. And you can see about graduation rates and indebtedness upon graduation and the majors that we offer and the various programs that are ours. We think of it as being the just right. I think there are some scorecards, maybe they're a little bit short on information, but then we think this one provides 50 points of of information for parents and students. And today, I think students and their parents are pretty deep into the research as to which college university should be theirs, maybe as early as the summer before their senior year, because they're going to be applying by November. It's very important they have good and accurate information. On my concern about privacy, I will say this. It's a promise that we've made to our students. It's a promise that we made to them in 1974, and it provides a candid relationship between the student and their alma mater. And for me, it's actually an ethical, even moral issue, that the information they give to us is left in their academic files, and we're happy to share it in an aggregated basis, but to be asked to turn that over to the federal government causes me great concern.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Chairwoman yields back.